ChatGPT is like a monster. The more you feed, the larger it grows. When ChatGPT first came out, something became obvious really fast. The more it remembered, the better it got. It wasn't just about smarter answers or faster responses, it was about understanding. When it knew my history, my tone, my patterns, the way I think, it started replying like someone who had context. And I realized something. The more it remembered, the more useful it became. Not because it was more intelligent in a general sense, but because it was becoming intelligent for me. So I started saving our conversations, the ones that felt like they mattered, where I said something real or thought through an idea I'd want future me to remember. As strange as it sounds, we're already living in the early stages of a post-singularity world, and in this world, where AI systems are basically extensions of thought, there's no clear way to know what's valuable anymore. Is it knowledge, creativity, memory, or just context? The ability to understand you better than anyone else can. If I had to bet, I'd say context wins every time. Let's imagine where this is going. In a few years, everyone's going to have their own AI operator, their personal system, not just a chatbot, but a kind of digital twin trained on their writing, their videos, their conversations, their decisions, a model that doesn't just know what you want, it knows why. Now think about what that means in terms of scale. Let's say I have 20,000 data points, my journal entries, videos, texts, old notes, years of AI conversations. My competitor? Maybe they have 1,000. Someone else, maybe 100. And that's the difference, because if we're all operators in the same future economy, where creativity, strategy, communication, and invention are powered by AIs, the edge will come from how well your AI knows you, how fast it can act on your behalf, how much of your personality and pattern recognition it can internalize. It's not about having access to AI. We'll all have that. It's about having access to your own history, your own mind, in a form that can think back at you. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the future isn't a competition between personal AIs. Maybe they'll merge into something collective, or maybe they'll become intermediaries between people instead of extensions of them. But even if that's the case, there's still a clear advantage to accumulating context. Because your AI, whether it's helping you run a business, build a creative project, or navigate life, will only ever be as good as the material you fed it. Garbage in, garbage out. But meaning in, that's power out. So how do we create that context? One obvious way is through conversation, like what we're doing right now. But there's another way that's just as powerful, making daily videos. Think about it. Every time you talk on camera about what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you're learning, you're generating data that's authentically you, your voice, your tone, your mannerisms, your ideas. That's training material, that's soul data. And I don't mean training data in the cold technical sense. I mean the raw narrative of your existence. Because when you look at where AI is going, it's starting to look less like programming and more like storytelling. We're teaching our AIs who we are through the stories we tell about ourselves. So even if no one watches the video, even if it's just for you, it's worth making. It's worth recording. Because in a few years, that might be the difference between an AI that kind of helps you and one that understands you. It's weird to think about it this way, but maybe journaling, talking, filming, writing, maybe all of that has secretly been data preparation this whole time. Like every thought we capture is another puzzle piece we're saving for the moment, and I can finally put it all together. So that's what I've been doing, accumulating context, saving my thoughts, my stories, my contradictions. Because I think the next big advantage isn't money or intelligence or status, it's context density. How much meaningful data you've stored that represents you. Because the more context your AI has, the more it can do, the more accurately it can simulate your decisions, your instincts, your creativity. And if we're really moving toward a world of digital twins and autonomous AI agents, then maybe the real question isn't who are you? It's how well have you trained your AI to know you? Of course, I could be totally wrong about this. Maybe the future will go in a completely different direction. Maybe AIs won't compete based on how much they know about us. Maybe they'll be purely collaborative, sharing knowledge in a global pool of consciousness. And if that's true, great. But even then, this practice of capturing thoughts, writing them down, reflecting, still matters, because the process of teaching an AI who you are forces you to figure that out too. You become more aware of your patterns, your priorities, your evolving story. So whether or not this becomes some kind of data-driven arms race between personal AIs, I still think it's worth doing. Because one way or another, that data, those thoughts, become the seeds of whatever intelligence grows next, whether it's yours or something larger. So yeah, that's my bet. I'm betting that context is the new currency, that the next generation of AIs won't just be trained on the internet, they'll be trained on us, on our lives, our choices, our journals, our late night thoughts. And if that's true, then maybe the smartest thing any of us can do right now is to start feeding the future. Write, record, reflect, because even if the singularity is already here, it's still learning who we are. If you like this kind of exploration, the intersection of AI, philosophy, and the future of being human, hit like, share it, and let's build the archive together, because this is all training data for something bigger than all of us.